Hello guys, it's Marcin from SNC Academy. In today's video I'm going to take you for a little visit to our next door neighbor Norbert. Norbert does sound healing sessions or sound healing meditations for his clients, so we decided to try it out for ourselves. This rather lengthy video is divided into three parts. The first one is just a little hello and introduction, the second part is a proper meditation, and the third part is afterwards conversations. I hope you'll enjoy it.
Zen Buddhism, and when I go to the Tuesday meeting I'm wearing this, and also meditation sessions I've just finished and quickly changed into normal.
Oh yes,
How are you?
yes. Hi Norbert. Hi.
You okay?
Yes. Hi.
You didn't have any jackets?
Do come in.
Thank you.
Would you like something to drink? I've just made some green tea or water.
Have some water, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't have, yes, that's Nero.
Nero.
Yeah, Nero. No, we scared little lady girl. Say hello to everybody. Say hello, Nero. Just put some lights on.
Wow. Nero.
Yeah, basically the setup is I've got microphone for each gong. I have one microphone hiding behind the gongs that's recording the singing bowls, and I've got an extra which is when I do the gong session I use it as a background sound recording to catch it, or when I play that instrument, because this is very very sensitive. It's rather a instrument microphone. This is for, I think you know all that because you sing.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
but really much knows everything.
Yeah, so
I mean,
this is
Not everything.
this is a large condenser microphone which is rather speech and
Yeah,
picking
yeah.
up very
Alright.
sophisticated sound, and this is, it can take higher level of noise, the same type of microphone I have between each gong, because they can get really loud, but also it catches the low level of sound as well. So, but this one is the very sophisticated sound for the singing bowls, and also I use the reverb effect on the mixing. That's actually nice connected to that, so I can.
So how do you do that? You play the background and then you add
Yes,
a
yeah,
sound.
exactly.
And the background is just
The
anything
background,
you find?
you can choose sound of nature, sound of water. Yeah, I can do a little. I've got an application now. I'm gonna be doing recording of. Have you heard about binaural beats? She always talks
Yes.
when I move.
Yes.
So that demonstration video is actually about binaural beats. I'm gonna be using.
Before you start, have you got like spare XLR cable?
When I do the recording, I do the real-time monitoring as well. So the headphone is plugged into the audio interface, so I can actually hear it in real time what's going out in the recording, or when I do live streaming, that's also so that, and you can apply reverb effect to that. But for some reason the reverb effect on the background sound is slightly cause a little distortion of the sound. I can play, where was it? Oh yeah. Sound of river, and when you apply the reverb,
Okay.
and you're in a cave. Yeah, you can imitate that sound as well. So then we have, what else we have here? Your waterfall. Light and rain from the medium atmosphere, waterfall. That's one of my favorite.
forest.
During the night.
There's another one. You can play forest also, fire, and you can mix them together in a way how you want it. Sound of night, and when you play the instruments on top. Oops, now it's gonna be doing feedback because they're too close. It's gonna come back. So it only works when you have the monitoring device so close to the microphone, they start doing this. But when you do a live sound healing session, you don't need to use the microphones on there. If you just use a gentle background sound, then sound of a horror movie.
Yeah, I didn't think that.
So with the gongs, it can get very intense. So before we start the sound healing session, because people come through the door with different presenting issues, a lot of stress, anxiety, and so on and so on and so on. So some people can work up a little bit, and when you start playing the gong, it can get a bit loud. So when you start of its capability, it can go really, really loud. And for some people, especially when you do a gentle chime session and you start working up the gong to a level, it can bring out, basically it can trigger an emotional release. And I always tell that if somebody experiences that, just return to the breath, because that's something that brings you back in the present moment where you are. Because when somebody gets in the session hearing all the sounds, it triggers the mind, so people go off to dreamland, start imagining things and everything. Sometimes the sound meets an emotion that deeply rooted somewhere, and it can have unpredictable effects sometimes. I'm not saying it's a damage or something, but people suddenly, oh, I haven't met with that thing yet because it's so deeply ingrained from the past. So, and just like during meditation, it is basically a meditation, and then people see and hear and experience things that they never experienced before, and they can get scared. I did a Reiki session on one of my friends who didn't really believe in Reiki. I said, just try it. So he had such a strong emotional release. He was crying and laughing in the same time. He was like, what is it? Don't worry, it's fine. It's all those things that you bottle up here, and he could feel something really hot coming up here. I said, you can actually picture it like you bottling up your emotions, and it's something that you don't say. So it radiates into your throat chakra. It opens up, all these things there. And this one has got a really deep tone. Actually, the frequency of this is tuned to the frequency of the earth. What comes out of this is the frequency of the Om. This gong. This is called the symphonic gong. It doesn't have a specific tuning. It's got many different frequencies and harmonies in this one, but that one specifically tunes to the frequency of the earth, and it's got a constant, very deep silent that predicts. varieties of sound out of this, because it's got specific tuning. That one is much more, I would say, playable, but this one gives like a constant drawn sound. But that's what basically a wandering mind needs, because our mind is always somewhere else. And when we start playing the gong, for example, that's one technique, when you play it on the same place. It basically attracts the mind's attention to this point, to this sound. It's a completely different experience when you have a kind of, you start with a gentle chime session, and then you just start with the gong, and the client starts focusing, starts coming back to this moment, so, and then starts experiencing what's going on inside, because our attention during the day is just so scattered.
Yes.
We think about the future, we worry about, we're in the past, but we're never in the place and time where what only exists here and the now. So when you can mix and match them together. When it gets very intense, then you can start playing a gentle chime. Two together, that's just fantastic. because you know the chakras, the 7 energy centers, when we have certain energy blockages during this time, during a sound healing session or a meditation, those energy blockages, they get released, and that's what can cause actually
Yes.
physical pain.
But
And
that's the
often-
problem I have actually. It's over
Yeah.
here because I keep everything in my stomach.
Yes. Then
So
when-
that's
when-
something
when
what you
you're
can't
anxious and
digest.
what you do,
Yeah.
and that, exactly, that's basically the effect of the stress hormones also. Millions of cells dying and reproducing at this moment. So it just, and we have no control over it whatsoever. Any function that responsible for us being alive is out of our conscious control. Breathing, heartbeat, blood circulation, so on and so on and so on. Because the conscious mind is not, it can't be trusted. Can you imagine if your breathing was down to your conscious mind? Oh, I forgot to breathe, boom. That's
Yes.
it. So
Yes.
it's
Especially
all
during the night.
happening.
Yeah.
It's an unconscious process. Because the conscious mind is about 5% of our mind. 95% is the subconscious of our habits. So during the day, when we are awake, 95% of that time we live it from our subconscious mind, from our habits. Brushing your teeth, washing yourself when you're having a shower. If you filmed yourself, for example, brushing your teeth, about 99% you're doing the same movements all the time because it's a habit, you're not thinking about it, you're just doing it. Car driving, for example, first you're thinking, well, where is the clutch, where is the indicator? But after time, you can have a full-blown conversation going up to Finchley, for example, and you can't even remember how you got there because you were driving by habit. Because it becomes, it basically gets written in the subconscious, and that's going to be something that you don't have to think about. And we live our life like that in a kind of subconscious way, and we are acting, reacting out of that without having a conscious awareness of what's happening with us.
You know, in Chinese medicine, heart is the most important organ in the body. It's called inferior. Mind, it's not even mentioned. I mean, it's mentioned, but it's connected with kidneys and something, but doesn't really play a big role for us.
The reason why you have this voice and you have that voice and you have that voice that you have in your throat, because that resonates with your body the best. This is your sound healing tool, and when you just do the you put your hand here and just do the you can feel the vibration. There is a certain can you feel the vibration there?
No.
Take it harder. And this vibration basically helps to detox your cells. Also, when you're humming, you don't think, you stop thinking because you just concentrate on that. Because that is a huge misconception. I'm thinking, therefore I am. They basically started identifying our being with thinking, but we're not the thinking. That's why we are not called human doing or human thinking. We call it human being, because it's our being is what we are. The mind likes having predictable things. The mind likes to drink the coffee from the same cup, wake up in the same time, do the same thing, so the same. The mind doesn't want changes. It's just, especially it's a huge change. It becomes, oh, you're okay, that you're fine. It's safe and secure, you don't have to step out. But sometimes you just have to throw everything up in the air and then just go for it. If you believe in something, and also if a situation becomes so uncomfortable and unbearable, and if you don't take don't take a step, then something's gonna make you take that step. So there will be a push, but sometimes that is really unpleasant. But the humans, we all do that. That's in our nature. Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't really look at it in a dualistic way. For me, there are no good things and bad things in life, just things that happen. it's us sticking labels on certain, like this one, I don't like that one. Oh, it's pleasant, I want this. Oh, it's unpleasant, I want to push it away. Life doesn't work like that. Yeah, we can't just have the good things all the time. We have to face stress. We have to face.
Overjoy can actually destroy hearts. So we can't, as you said, we can't be in the same mode all the time.
And when we are not happy, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Because there are people who they always, I'm okay, I'm feeling fine, they're fantastic.
Yes.
There is
And
no
most of the
such
time
person who's
they
only got good
pretend.
day. No.
Yeah.
They just not being honest. When I ask them, how are you? Oh, I'm very well. I say, listen, I'm really interested in how you are. Because I can see that, that's overpowering joy and everything. And I just, okay, what's going on in your life? And actually, and
What's
then
wrong, really?
and then the story starts. I said, okay, yeah. So because from habit we push away the bad things, because even the way we grow up, when we listen to bedtime stories, the good always gets the reward, the bad one always gets punished, and then they lived happily ever after, and so on.
But you know, in Poland, actually, when you ask someone how are you, they say, "Oh my God, this and that," and
Now that's another thing. The
we are
feeling the urge to complain.
Yes.
That's another thing. When we only see the bad things.
So what we need to do is we need to always be in balance, and we should try to balance ourselves with everything.
What helped me to get to that stage where we can step into that observer position, when we can observe what's going on in here, what's going on in there, and it's a kind of stepping out from that experience, not becoming the experience and not identify ourselves